Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HRL Forza Elantra series. This is week number 6, which we're going to be doing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And if you remember from earlier in the season, going through the schedule, you might be wondering, wasn't this supposed to be Eagle Rock? And it was supposed to be Eagle Rock, but this is Roman's home track. He wanted to make it, and he knows that he's going to be gone for a couple weeks later in the season where it was originally scheduled. So basically, I just swapped this in Eagle Rock. So we're doing IMS here, and we're doing Eagle Rock later in the season, a few weeks down the road. But anyways, we're green here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it's going to be 18 laps around this track. And this track's going to be, it's going to make for an interesting race because obviously there's a lot of comparisons immediately with Homestead. The Homestead race, with this car, this track should race kind of similar to Homestead. But obviously the layouts, even though they're both big tracks and they're both drafting tracks, the layouts are pretty different, right? Homestead's very wide open and more like traditional 1.5 mile oval, whereas this one's well over 1.5 mile. This track's freaking long, and it's also got like the box shape as well. So the corners are a lot different, and with the way the corners are shaped, there's almost like more straightaway drafting since it's like legit 4 corners. You know how like most ovals you say turns 1, 2, 3, and 4, but most of them are really like 2 turns. Well, this one is like pretty legitimately 4 turns. So that makes it a lot different too. And yeah, all these different aspects should add up to a very interesting race because again, like it'll be similar to Homestead. It's definitely in the same category of race. Like this and Homestead are definitely both like drafting ovals with this car. Eagle Rock will not be. Eagle Rock will be quite different. But even though they're both drafting ovals, I think that when we get to Sunset Peninsula in the grand final, I think that'll race a lot more similar to Homestead than this. They're all different, and they're all going to be unique in their own ways, even though they're all drafting tracks. But again, I think that one will be more similar to Homestead, whereas Indy is kind of its own beast, and everybody in the field is going to be kind of like figuring that out as the race goes on. And one of the big aspects of that is how difficult the turns are. So even though we are doing the same thing that we did for Homestead, which is no pitting, so no worry about like fuel or tire wear or anything like that. Everybody's on softs, and there's no like mid-race pitting, and we're just battling it out all the way to the end. So no pitting again. But even though we don't have to worry about that, and even though everybody's on softs, and I believe I also set the track grip, because you can adjust the track grip level. I think I bumped it, I want to say all the way up to 100 for both races for this one. Usually I only do 100 for like the second moto, but I want to say I did it for 100. If it wasn't 100, it was like 90 and 100 for both motos or something like that. Like it was pretty far bumped up. So did that, and we're on the softs, and even with all that, the amount of speed that you carry into the corners, especially with the draft during the race, is vast. It's a lot of speed. You're going really quick into these corners for these cars, and it's actually pretty hard for them to handle it when you don't get to take the preferred line. And you see that right there with Slaunch, Matt getting the move on Slaunch, and Slaunch was doing very well out in the lead, but as soon as he gets out of that preferred groove, it's really tough, and he almost goes all the way up to the wall. And that's another, that's like the biggest difference between this and the Homestead race, right? Like Homestead, we could basically go like 4 wide at Homestead, and you could run really close to the wall, and we could do that like pretty effectively and pretty well, and we're pretty smooth about it on Homestead. This track, you're not really going to want to do that. Like I would say 3 wide, while it is technically doable, I would say 3 wide is even like pretty spooky into the corners, especially the entrance corners. On this track. So what I mean like by that is like turns 1 and turns 3, turn 1 and turn 3, those entrance corners where you're carrying like the max speed from the straightaway, those are really, really dangerous to be going 3 wide into. Turns 2 and turns 4 are a little bit different. They're a little bit different because obviously you already went through a turn, so you scrubbed some speed off, and you could probably go 3 wide through 2 and 4 and be fine, even though the exits are a little tight and they do like kind of jump out at you. I still think you can pull it off pretty well. But it's definitely like more doable with those turns than the entrance corners. Those entrance corners, you'll see some drivers try it. You can try to go 3 wide, but if you're on the outside of that interaction, you're probably going to want to think about lifting and maybe even braking and trying to get like back in line and trying to get back into like 2x2. So again, that's very, very different than Homestead. Homestead, you'd send it 3 wide, 4 wide. I swear we were damn near going like 5 wide at one point, and it was totally fine. This track, you can do that in the straightaway for a little bit, but you definitely do not want to carry it into the corner. It is a bad idea. The only time you really want to be going 4 or 5 wide is for the win to the line on the last lap on this track. So very, very different. Going to be fun to watch how these drivers handle it, though. All right, so went through most of the differences there of the track, so we get back into the racing here. And there you saw a great example of what I was talking about. Like, Matt got shuffled out to the outside, and I can't tell exactly if he did, but it kind of looked like he did. Maybe do a little bit of a lift, just like get back into line. And then he was able to turn that into a crossover. He's all the way back to the bottom now. And you see even Deech right there thought about sending it, making it 4 wide, but then was like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. And you could see, like, visibly, he definitely backed out of that there. Again, like, Homestead probably sends it. This track, he's like, nah, we're on lap 6. There's a long ways to go. It's not really worth it. If I do it, it's probably going to be a caution. Like, whatever, we'll just chill out, keep having fun racing. So that was kind of the idea there. But yeah, again, so we're on board with Roman now, who's leading. And again, we switched this for Roman because I believe it's I want to say it's the last 2 weeks of the regular season, I think. Are the ones that he's gonna miss for some vacation, something of the sort. Clarify it in the comments, Roman, or something like that. But yeah, so and this was originally supposed to be the second to last race of the regular season. But with him, saying that, obviously wanted to make the Indy race with it being his home track, I was like, all right, screw it. This is an easy swap with Eagle Rock. Oh, and then I forgot to mention this. It was also doubly good because it was the same weekend as the actual in real life Indy 500. So it lined up. We raced this track. This video is a little delayed, but we raced this track the same weekend, just a couple days before the actual Indy 500. So that was pretty cool how that lined up too. I always love doing stuff like that, and part of the original plan of like what we were going to do with Forza this year had a lot of stuff like that, like a lot of races lining up pretty close with like the real life dates. So with that, opportunity, I was like, yeah, this is pretty convenient. And this is a pretty easy fit, so I'm definitely going to send on it and just make it official. And also, like, it's not, this track was a little tricky, don't get me wrong. Maybe people underestimated it a little bit. But for the most part, this wasn't a track that you really need to practice on, or that you'd get that much value practicing on without other people, right? Like, you could practice solo, but that doesn't really tell you a whole lot. The practice with other people is what matters on this track, because when you're in the draft and you're carrying that momentum, this is a close call right here. Slunch and Luke getting really, really close. A little bit of a doofage into the entrance of the corner. Luke getting super sideways, gathers it up, and I think gonna hold on to the draft too. So that was a pretty big moment in the race. That was spooky. Good job, everybody, like, keeping it going though. But yeah, so it's just like, with how different it feels with the draft, it's the same thing as Homestead. You could race it solo, practice it solo, but it doesn't really tell you a whole lot. Practicing it with people is where it's at. That's what's going to give you an idea of like how it's actually going to race. That was another reason why I didn't mind making the swap, because swapping this for Eagle Rock would have been harder, right? Because Eagle Rock actually is going to have some technicality to it. It's a short track. There's a lot of lifting and braking. Again, this track, in theory, you don't have to lift or brake at all. That's not going to be like realistically the case for a lot of these drivers. A lot of these drivers are going to be lifting at different points to try to keep things safe. But in theory, you don't have to lift at all around this place. You get to run the preferred line. You can just keep it wide open. Whereas again, even with the softs and even with the high grip, Eagle Rock is not going to be like that. Especially racing with other people, it's not going to be like that. A lot of lifting and maybe even some braking as well on Eagle Rock. It's the only of the ovals with this car in the season that is not a drafting oval, which is going to make it very unique. Really looking forward to that race. I was looking forward to it this weekend. Still had fun with Indy, but definitely keep your eyes open for Eagle Rock when we do eventually get around to it again in just a couple weeks now, because that'll be a very, very fun race for sure. Okay, so we're about halfway through this one, and we're seeing like what we expect, right? I mean, it's the same thing as Homestead. We're seeing kind of what we expect, which is a lot of swapping, right? A lot of position swapping, a lot of battling, and a lot of drivers, I think, just trying to get a feel for the track, trying to get a feel for like what they can get away with going into the corners, what the best way for them to get like a big run is. And a big thing to test is the run to the finish, obviously, right? You want to know, like, realistically, how far back can you be, like, from the leader, going out of the last corner and into, the finish line for the last time around, and, like, still have a realistic shot and maybe taking the win, right? And the only way to figure that out is to try to, like, make big moves make big drafting passes throughout the race, and just try to test it, essentially. That's kind of what these races are, or kind of how I look at them is, obviously you're trying to stay up front, but it's kind of a testing session. We have a big wreck here. It's going to be a caution. First one in the race. Massive wreck for Matt here. Let's take a look at a replay on this one quick. We'll finish that thought in a moment. But yeah, you see 3 wide. Again, the 3 wide, it's very, very dangerous. And I think Slaunch, for a moment, thought he was going to have Matt clear by the exit. Did not quite have him clear by the exit. Matt gets swiped up, taken out. Get another view of it here. Slaunch with some damage as well. He's able to keep it going pretty well, but yeah, definitely got a big hit to the side. But obviously Matt with, thankful that we're not racing with actual damage on, because he would have had a wrecked race car for sure. But we get him lined up, get the choose. We're going green again here for a restart. This is our first, hopefully only caution of the race. And we're green again. So obviously that sucks, because now we're in the last third of the race. Matt's going to have to go to the back, but it's not a big deal here. It's not a big deal at all. He's got plenty of time to work with. Let's take a look at a replay here. Oh, look at this. Slaunch almost losing it. That was really weird. Look at how loose he is. I don't know how he's getting that loose this early on, and then like in that position, it was so random, it felt like. But yeah, that was a big moment for Slaunch right there, but luckily able to gather it up. Everybody kept it clean, keeps his position, and look at this, he has the lead. He has the lead out of turn 2. It's insane. After almost losing it right there, I don't know how the hell he's going for the lead like 2 seconds later, but there you go. That's how this track is, how this racing is. So that is absolutely wild. But again, what I was saying before the caution, that's essentially how I look at these races. Is it's basically like a testing session. Like 18 lap race, right? The first 17 laps is essentially a testing session. Like you're just trying things, and you're just seeing, you're pushing the limit, right? Like you're pushing the limit. You're seeing what you can get away with in the corners. You're seeing what you can get away with racing side by side with other drivers. You're seeing what you can get away with in terms of like how far behind you can be somebody going into that final straight and still get like a big run. Like that's essentially what it is. It's 17 laps. These races are like 17 laps of testing, and then on the last lap you race. On the last lap you race, so the last lap shit gets real. That's kind of the way I look at them, and it's pretty fun. And it's really tough with this type of racing, because it can be really fun, but it can also be really frustrating, right? Like it can be really rewarding when you win one of these races. It's so hard to win because everybody has a chance, right? Like a normal race, I'd actually argue that like a normal like road course race in a way is easier to win, because you can practice. You can put a lot of time into it. You can really like refine the turns, get good at the track. And really hammer everything home, and just have good pace and like control the race and just get like a strong win, right? Like that's in theory what you can do in like a normal road course race for this series. Whereas these drafting style, that would also apply to the Eagle Rock Oval as well, I would say too. But the drafting style oval races aren't like that at all. Like legitimately, everybody in the field has a shot. Everybody in the field has a shot. Everybody can win. And I'm not saying that there like isn't a skill gap or anything, because there absolutely is. Like I think consistently we see certain drivers like get towards the front and finish towards the front. So like with that consistency, it's the same thing with these types of races in real life. The same thing. You have certain drivers that are just better at it and are better at like staying up front. So there definitely is a skill gap to it, but there's still that element of like anybody could win. Everybody has a shot, which makes it super difficult compared to a normal race weekend, because a normal race weekend, some people just realistically do not have the pace. So now here, it's like everybody has the pace, everybody has a chance. So again, when you win one, it feels great. It's like, holy, like I actually beat the entire field. Like it feels great. But at the same time, when something bad happens on the last lap, and end up in an incident or don't get the run that you wanted, get blocked, whatever it may be, that's always like really frustrating too. So yeah, it's a tough type of racing. Again, super frustrating, but can be super rewarding as well when you're able to clutch up and take the win. All right, so we're getting to the last bit of the race here. Let's lock in. We're about 4 laps to go, and I feel like Deitch was I feel like he was kind of chilling. I feel like he was kind of chilling, like kind of testing the waters. I feel like we haven't seen too much of him up front, but here we are with 4 to go and leading the pack and trying to take the win here. And going back to my earlier point again, with the skill gap of these races, who do we have up front? We have Deitch and Roman up front, 1-2 right now. Yes, there's still time to go. Not guaranteed that it's going to end that way, but we're late in the race. They're looking good. They're running 1-2 right now, and we've done 4 of these drafting oval races previously. in our HRL Forza stint and who has won those 4 races. 2 of them were won by Deech and 2 of them were won by Roman. And here they are running 1-2. So again, like, I legitimately think everybody has a shot, and I think we will see more first-time winners and more variety of winners on these types of races. The more of them that we do, I absolutely think that will happen, because that's kind of just how these races go. So 100%, I think that's how it's going to go. But at the same time, I don't think it's coincidence that, again, those guys have won 2 apiece, the 4 races of this type that we've done so far. And here we are at the end of this one, and they're running 1-2, right? Like, I don't think it's coincidence at all. But that being said, we're still going to be hitting 2 to go this time by. There's still a long ways to go before we cross the line for the actual finishing results. So still plenty of time for things to switch up. These guys in the back trying to find a run. Matt, unfortunately, gets really tight off the exit of 4 right there, and just nearly, I don't know if he actually hit it, but just nearly slams the wall right there. Got super tight and trying to hold on to it. Now it's getting kind of weird because it's a 3 wide. And yeah, Luke's going to back out of it because these guys want to gain, right? Like, there's a little bit of a gap between these guys and the lead pack, and they want to get up there because, yes, there's 2 to go, and that honestly is plenty of time. Whoa, big moment right there for Matt. That was a close call. Big save. He is going to lose some time, but luckily I think he'll be okay. I don't think he's going to lose the draft from that. It's going to take him a little bit to build up that momentum again, but I still think he has a shot at this win. I think everybody's got a shot here going in the last lap. Big moment right there, too. Deech and Roman going into turn 3, big contact. They keep it going right there. Massive run from Luke as well. You could see on the inside, tried to find the inside of Roman, and Opix could not quite get there. That could have been a massive move for the win, but wasn't quite able to make it stick. And yeah, look, Matt's already there, back with the pack, and here we go. Anybody's game, but it's Deech and Roman leading up front. Here we go. They cross the bricks. That time, white flag, last time around for the first moto at Indy. And Roman has that preferred line right now. He's got the inside. Slaunch trying to send it wide around the outside. He's going for it. I respect it. That's a move trying to make that win happen, but unfortunately not able to get that speed around the outside that he wanted, but still in the game. Everybody's still in the game at this point. Deech with a big run on the outside, and again, he's been holding strong on that outside for the last few laps. Been working for him, but Roman, again, does have the preferred line. I do think you want the inside here at the end. Let's see how it works out for him, but Deech does have some help from Opix from behind, but now Opix is going to go inside. He's going to block that run from Luke and Matt as well. They're getting super loose on the inside. Roman has the advantage. He gets to the lead. Deech still holding strong around the outside. It looks like a 3 wide behind them as well. And, oh, big contact. And, oh, it looks like there's a crash in the back. Matt going around completely as they race to the line. And it looks like Roman blocking the run from Opix all the way to the inside. And there they hit the line. It looks like it was super close. Let's get a better view of it here, of the run to the line. And Deech holds it strong around the outside, and Roman trying to do the halo move with a little dooring to stop the momentum. I don't think that works in Forza. Deech with a great run. I thought Roman had the advantage with the inside, but you could see Deech got it. Deech got the win for Moto 1. Yeah, I thought Roman had the advantage on the inside for sure, but Roman, it looked like Roman got a little loose, like right there. You saw it there for a moment. It looked like he got a little loose in the middle of the corner. Whereas Deech was able to keep it like pretty smooth around the outside and just keep his momentum up, get a really good run, and make the pass happen, make the pass back happen with no drafting help around the outside going to the line for the win. So that's pretty crazy. So Deech got the win. We'll take a look at Roman and Opix's photo finish in a second here. Right now we're trying to see what happened with the wreck in the back, and it looks like Matt just, it looked like he did not quite complete the corner yet. Like, it looked like when he got right here, he just slid out and thought like he was going to be good. But then again, just like way up to the outside wall, slams off of it, back down into Luke. And yeah, their run and their chance at Moto 1 definitely going to be over. And Slaunch already had kind of a bad run. They were battling hard too. So Slaunch is going to take those 2 positions back. He'll take that. But, you know, his chance, Matt and Luke, if they kept it clean, maybe still could have made things interesting for the front run right there. But I think Slaunch was kind of out of it at that point. So I think he'll definitely take those couple positions that he earned. But yeah, tough break right there. For honestly all 3 of those guys in the back. That's really unfortunate, because I think if they kept it clean, they could have maybe played a role in this finish up here too. But here you see it. Yeah, Deech with the big run, and Opix just trying to work both drivers' draft. Goes for the move. Roman going down to block, but nothing too egregious, keeping it clean. And yeah, it's unfortunate for Opix. He had a great run, and he passes Roman like right after the line. Like right after the line. There you have the finish. Deech definitely got the win, and Roman definitely got it over Opix. But yeah, it's so sad because, like, look at that. Right at the line, Roman definitely had him, but Opix had so much momentum. It's just like if the line was just another 100 feet out, maybe Opix could have gotten the second place right there. Unfortunate, but yeah, a crazy race, crazy finish. Yeah, Indy really delivering. So love to see that. And there you go. Again, that's what I was saying. Like, Dici makes it now three Moto wins for him on these drafting ovals on the season. See if he can continue the run in Moto 2.